Freedom's the answer. What's the question? You're listening to Ernest Hancock.
Stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Stop me now. If you want to have a good time, just give me a try.
Yeah, just got a call from Pete Iyer from Liberty on Tour. You know, I said this is the idea that Nick Barnett had. He goes, you know, in the wallet voting, we're trying to come up with a logo, different stuff, and we're looking at different things. I'm like, you know, what are we going to do? And he goes, you know that voluntarist V that they have, you know, that's that the Liberty on Tour had on the front of their RV. Can we use that somehow? Can we, put that in the voting or double them up to make a W or something like that? I go, you know, I think that'd be good. I'd really like to do that. So we'll go ahead and Pete said, yeah, I'll send you the files and see what we can come up with. Cool. All over it. This stuff's coming together, man. We'll get it set up. We'll put it up on the site, and you guys will be able to make use of the raw data. I mean, you know, what we do is we take Photoshop, and you can flatten it out, and you have it. It's like a JPEG or a graph, but then you can't alter it and change text and use it. So what do? We're able to put it up on our websites. We'll use rtr.org, Gary Franchi's Restore the Republic, you know, social network thing. You'll see advertising on Freedom's Phoenix, and we have special editions on Freedom's Phoenix, and whatever else you guys got, and we'll link it. We'll just put it everywhere, and you'll be able to go and get the files and have some fun. Because we're going to be doing, you know, because the Lone Ranger with the silver bullet shooting werewolves, you know, of course that means that you got to morph some Ron Paul and the Lone Ranger, and the werewolf gets to be Ben Bernanke, you know. Not that we're advocating violence or anything. It's just funny. So we'll see if we're still allowed to be funny after a while. So we want to go ahead and go over some of the stories here. I just had a bunch of them up. But I tell you the one that I want to do is this one. Missoula District Court. Jury pool in marijuana case stages mutiny. A funny thing happened on the way to a trial in Missoula County District Court last week. Potential jurors, staged a revolt. They took the law into their own hands, as it were, and made it clear they weren't about to convict anybody for having a couple of buds of marijuana. Never mind that the defendant in question also faced a felony charge of criminal distribution of dangerous drugs. The tiny amount of marijuana police found while searching Toure Cornell's home on April 23rd became a huge issue for some members of the jury panel. No, they said, one after another, no way would they convict somebody for having a 16th of an ounce. This is, we're gonna retry this. We're gonna refile. We're gonna this is how it starts. What are we advocating? A cultural shift. And you knew for like the past few years when you got Jay Leno up there, man, he's just going off about this marijuana smoking thing. You know, he has what's the guitar playing band leader guy's name? I can't remember. Anyway, they're always going on about him, toking up. So it's a cultural thing. When you got Jay Leno and the old people late at night watching this, and they're saying, "Look, man, this marijuana thing, it's not a thing with us. It's just nope, don't care." Well, who's in opposition? I don't know. Bad guys are wanting to, make sure they get theirs. So then we have, here, I was going to put this up. I got one other. Well, there's an article up here about how the marijuana lobbying effort is starting to rival tobacco and alcohol. Marijuana, you have all these distribution points for medical marijuana and such. It's going on right here in Arizona. When they passed this law, Mark Victor was talking to me. He says, "Ernie, man, anybody comes to you about this, you haven't come to me. We're all over this thing. We're starting to, we're addressing the law. We're partnering up. We're going to have us dispensaries. We're going to have a grand opening. We're going to have us a good old time." Okay. Cool, man. He's all over it. So do they have, is that a special interest? Is that an industry? Is somebody making money? Are they going to start donating a little bit here and there to hire a lobbyist to go and buddy up the legislators because that's how it's done? That's a side effect. Here we go. And they're going to, do you think that they're going to eventually turn into food distributors that does S510, saying how much you can and can't and sell and do and grow on your own food? And do the same thing with marijuana? Hell yes. Of course. That's why I tell you a story. This is really good. Here in Arizona, what happened the first time that they put it on the ballot? It was done by, what's his name, Sperling, the guy that owns Phoenix Universities. Now, the boy's got some money. He's a billionaire. So he would fund a lot of these. Well, in the late 90s, there was an initiative that went on the ballot and it passed. It was like, 68% or something. Well, then the legislature just came in and said, yeah, but we don't like it, changed it, just repealed it. Okay. Because they can. So this got them all worked up, and it's a long story what happened after that. But during that, the Libertarian Party, in the publicity pamphlet that they do that goes out to all the voters, we took out ads. You could write your support or opposition to various initiatives on the ballot. Well, we paid hundreds of dollars for a bunch of us on all the initiatives. We said, look, this, and this about, each one. Well, on the kind of sort of almost decriminalization, legalization of marijuana, we were against it. We said this, we'll tell you what this is. It's going to create industries and treatment. It's going to be forced court. You got to go and get treatment, day law, blah, blah, blah. We went off on this thing. Now, a lot of the people that were in support of it, we were friends. We go to various different meetings and everything. We were cool. We were sitting there laughing up our sleeve because we knew what was going to happen. We made them look moderate. We were the extremists. We wanted to legalize LSD and heroin and everything. Don't need government in any of this drug war kind of. They looked reasonable. They were, the reasonable people to deal with. It's a deal with us or deal with them. So they dealt with them. It passed. It's great, wonderful. Politicians didn't like it, did away with it. But the argument that we made still applied, and it applies now. When Normal did the initiative pushing it here in Arizona, they were advocating, well, we need the tax revenue so we can hire more teachers. Really? That's a good reason not to do it. So it barely passes, comes in, and what's going to happen? Same thing. It's not decriminalization. It's regulation. It's alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. I mean, here we go. They're going to do the same thing that they did with food. They're going to come in and say what you can and can't do, what you can grow in your backyard, what you can put in your body or not, and where it has to come from, and how it's going to be prescribed, blah, 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 blah. But it is a sign of a change in culture. It's always education. This is the big argument that activist libertarians have with organizations such as Campaign for Liberty or the Libertarian Party or any of these others that say we got to use it. No, you got to. God, there's no central plan for freedom. Do what you want. But man, I'm good. We're going to take a hardcore position so that we can articulate what the real issues are and the principles involved, so the next time they come with another piece of legislation or initiative on the ballot, or there's some kind of protest for what, what the heck the issue is. It's not about how your master's going to, allow you to, smoke their marijuana. It's not about that. It's about, do you own yourself or not? If you can get that fundamental truth in people's heads, how do they unlearn that? Once they maintain, once they advocate for their own sovereignty, all that other stuff is just details, man. I get blah, 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 blah. You just keep yapping. You're assuming I mean voting anyway. So I just, it's all a cultural thing. The rest of that stuff, side effect. Let me tell you one of the side effects that's going to happen. One of the side effects is going to be economic. This is down Argentine way. It's on Freedom's Phoenix right now, and we are paralleling what happened in Argentina. Argentina used to be a very wealthy country, one of the most wealthy ones in South America, in this hemisphere, minus America. I mean, in the 50s and 60s, they were thriving, and then, of course, they're ripe for the pickings, and they go get them. So now there are many ominous parallels between Argentina and the U.S., and the question often asked is, can America avoid the economic consequences that Argentina suffered from a fascist government combined with government debt and currency collapse? I believe that answer is likely no. This is on Lou Rockwell, and this is written by, I don't have it here right available. Go ahead and, read. I read that article, and I go, oh, yeah, that's what's coming. That's what's coming. We're going to go down the same path. Now, I want you guys to be prepared, so we can survive this thing. But where's the change? It's between the ears. I know a lot of you guys know this. You just keep doing what you're doing, and we're going to do what we can to help here. And starting January, it's going to get fun all over again. The next leg of this revolution.